some of the current
Oh,
girls
yeah, I've
winning?
been recruiting a long time.
So I mean, like you spent, get to somebody's house at 6 a.m. and that kind of thing.
Well, I wasn't in the Switzer years where they were hiding guys out and taking them to hotels. And I love those stories, but I'm glad I don't have to live it. I'll tell you that. That'd be, So I don't know that any of us want to revisit that. Those kind of things. But so I wasn't involved in any of that. But I think just overall they've tried to. And I think there's a balance of what you're saying. They try and restrict and limit what we're able to do for two reasons. That if there's 50 schools going to see one kid and you're seeing them twice a week, the kid gets tired of it. And then they're also trying to help the assistant coach to be here with players that are on his team more often and your family. So there's just a balance. And I think for the most part right now we've got a pretty good balance overall in how we recruit.
Do you mind some of the decision announcements have taken on sort of a carnival flair? Does that bother you at all?
I don't know if I wouldn't say it bothers me because it's not my young man or not my kid, and I'm not involved in it, so there's no reason it would bother me. Other than my feeling has always been when I get in front of you guys, I don't know that, and tell me if I'm wrong here, but I've never sat here and said that this guy's going to be an All-American or this guy's going to be this, and you kind of set yourself up in those situations to now what have you done 3 and 4 years later after having that stage and doing all that. And I don't, to me, I'd be more leery of that and not wouldn't be for it. I know. So, and again, I try here as much as you ask about guys, I do my best to say, well, we'll see, because there's a big difference between high school and what we do, and just like there's a big difference from here to the NFL, and it's some guys handle it better than others, and there's a lot of factors that enter into it outside of just football and being able to have success at the college level. And so, you do your best to temper that. And your question, though, but the more and the bigger stage you have and all that, you just kind of put yourself out there to be looked at continually. So,
Bob, with the success of Bradford and then Halsley there and then bringing in a good prospect in Landy Jones, the majority of the public assumed that Keith Nickel would be gone now or would be gone when spring ball is over, but it sounds like he doesn't feel
well,
that.
And that's where, again, people just assume or speculate, and that's just not the case. What I love about all those guys is none of them have flinched. They want to compete to make themselves better and earn their way. And I really, I love guys like that. And I loved it when DJ Wolf committed early and helped us recruit Adrian Peterson. He called him about every week. The guy hadn't worried about it. I'm going to find my way on the field to whatever fits me. And same with these guys. They've all, I see them all pal around together and help each other out and sit pregame meal together, sit in chapel before games together, and so they, to me, they're excellent competitors when they do that they're looking to earn their way, make themselves better, and find their way.
Do you guys change your personality at all from when you're recruiting them to when you get them on campus? I mean, I assume the tone of voice you use on the practice field is not the tone of voice you use in a living room.
Well, he hadn't missed a tackle yet. I mean, it's so. But I'll say this. I mean, there's no reason, though, to have any, reason to have the tone of voice you might have on a practice field. But we don't shy away from how we work, how we go at it in the off season, what we expect when you're here, and how you compete. And I think you can interview a good number of our players, and they'll tell you that. I mean, in fact, I emphasize it because I want guys knowing coming in, this is how we do things. And if this isn't for you, then, some other school probably is. And better to know now. So I think Austin English said it. I heard him say it this year. He said that nothing around here is too much sugar-coated. So even in recruiting, I think, that'd be the case. It's pretty, matter of fact. And
it.